This past weekend, the U.S. and Iran met for the first time in direct negotiations. The outcome of these talks may shift the future of the Middle East. Here's the latest on that story and others from our news desk. Little was publicized in Oman from the first negotiations between the Iranians and the Trump administration on Iran's potential nuclear weapons. But more talks will be held Saturday, and both sides tried to sound upbeat.
Nothing matters until you get it done, so I don't like talking about it, but it's going okay. The Iran situation's going pretty good.
As a first session, it was a constructive meeting. It took place in a calm and very respectful environment.
The greatest fear for many Israelis is the Iranian regime will drag these talks out as it actually finishes developing nuclear weapons and then has the ability to destroy Israel. And some worry, it appears, the Iranian negotiators are already trying to stall.
The American side said their aim is to reach an agreement in the shortest possible time. But of course, this won't be easy. It's still too early to talk about that.
Trump may not be willing to put up with any stalling. He told reporters on Sunday,
"We'll be making a decision on Iran very quickly."
In Gaza, Israeli forces continue ever more fierce attacks on Hamas. They're capturing more land, in one case totally cutting off Hamas stronghold Rafah from the rest of Gaza. Israel's defense minister warned Gazans over the weekend the only way to stop the destruction is for them to end it themselves. Israel Katz stated, "It is time to stand up and remove Hamas and release all the Israeli hostages. This is the only way to end the war." The Jewish state has declared until Hamas frees all the hostages, Israel will continue to take more and more of Gaza and turn the captured land into vast buffer zones.
Many areas are being seized and added to the security zones of the State of Israel, leaving Gaza smaller and isolated.
This hurts Hamas because one of the greatest catastrophes for Islamists is to lose land to non-Muslims. Some Gazans gathered in church to mark Palm Sunday, despite their suffering as the war grinds on.
The situation has gotten out of hand. Our situation is unbearable. The situation is tragic.
Iran may be trying to drag out negotiations with the Americans so it can continue to rush to develop nuclear weapons without U.S. and Israeli forces wiping out its nuclear facilities. But President Trump insists these talks must go fast and warns the Iranians are no longer dealing with previous U.S. administrations who'd let them stall.
We're so used to dealing with stupid people in this country. They can't have a nuclear weapon. And they got to go fast because they're fairly close to having one. And they're not going to have one. And if we have to do something very harsh, we'll do it. And I'm not doing it for us, I'm doing it for the world. And these are radicalized people, and they cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Does that include a potential strike on Iranian nuclear facilities?
Of course it does.
In Gaza, Hamas has apparently rejected the latest hostage deal, so the fighting will go on. The terror group says it's willing to free the remaining hostages, but only if Israel permanently ends the destructive war and all its troops leave Gaza. Israel won't do that without Hamas totally disarming, but the terror group absolutely refuses to lay down its weapons.